Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the next stage of Hard as Hell 2-Gun. This is our fourth stage. It is stage 9 in the match. What we have on this one is a series of 3 vehicles that you have to go through. You start sitting in a car, hop out of the car, and you've got 5 little narrow, they're like 4-inch wide by 10-inch tall, I think.
They're called auto popper skinnies.
Yep.
They're little tiny things.
Yep, and they are resetting poppers, so they're spring-loaded. You hit them, they fall down and come back up. Get out of the car, hit all 5 at 100 yards. And then run from the car to the next vehicle, which is about 15 yards uprange. It's a pickup truck. On the way, engage 4 paper targets. Then hop in the back of the truck, get all 5 of those little auto poppers again, hop out, 4 targets en route to the next vehicle, which is a Gator, little 4x4 utility
Off-road kind of
thingy.
thing, yep.
Hop in the back of that, get all 5 of the auto poppers again, ditch your rifle there, and then there are a series of 3 boxes where from each one you have to knock over 6 falling steel plates. Some of them are circles, some are sticks, some are squares.
Very small.
Some are very small. And there are 4 static steel plates, nice big ones, like 18-inch by 3 foot.
And you're at now about 50 yards.
Yeah, so you hit all 4 steel, 6 knockdowns, move to the next box, 4 static steel, 6 knockdowns, move to the last box, 4 static steel, 6 knockdowns.
Correct. So let's see what happens. This is an interesting combination of pretty precision rifle shooting, although not at very long range,
Right.
and very precision pistol shooting.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. won!
Range is clear.
Ian, you finished it.
1174.
Oh my gosh!
I finally finished one.
Extreme zoom!
That felt good too.
Paper.
All right, guys, so this is the conclusion or our thoughts on our stage 4.
Yep.
Which is stage what here? 9.
9. Yes, stage 9.
But before we do that, we want to bring you a message from our actual sponsor. Everyone thinks that AR-15, we're the, sponsored by the AR-15 industry, shills for Hudson, all that stuff. None of that's true. We don't get paid for any of that. We just like to promote products we think are cool.
Yeah.
Our real, we shill for these guys. These guys will take away any trash you got, bodies, hookers, whatever. Dixie
And
Waste Services.
metal. If you're having a dumpster fire, what you need is Dixie Waste Services fireproof metal dumpsters.
So next time you accuse us of shilling for anything, please get it right and tell us that we're shilling for Dixie Waste Services with the metal containers that get rid of dead bodies and deal with dumpster fires effectively.
Yep.
On that note,
673-5610, every zip code, every area code.
Across the board.
Every single one of them.
Fantastic stuff. Great service. So on that note,
Yeah,
how'd we do?
we did really well.
Yeah, this one
I'm really happy.
You're pepping up a little bit on this one. Before this stage, and I hope this doesn't offend you, Ian was like, all I want to do now is not time out. And because there was a couple timeouts going on.
Yeah.
And then this stage, you didn't time out.
Yep.
And in fact, I think you were talking about this in a way, and I'm not sure how much of this is cognitive bias against not doing as well as you'd like.
Yep.
And part of it is reality, in that you were saying that the DMR rifle you have set up is set up for like conditions in which aren't little tiny targets about this freaking big at 250 yards.
Right.
And I think there's truth to that. Some, not all. And that this stage was a nice middle ground in that regard.
Yes.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. I needed a bit of an attitude shift. And we were actually just talking to Ken between when we shot and when we came to film our little conclusion here. And he pointed out, Hard as Hell is here to show you the state of your skills and your gear and your mindset. You're not supposed to just clean it. As we've said before, it's fun when you win and you learn when you don't win. And this match is about learning. And if you come here expecting to win, you're in for an attitude shift like I had, because you're not going to win.
All matches are about learning, ultimately, if you approach it from the most positive mindset.
Right, but this one in particular. These stages are set up so that a lot of people time out on a lot of stages.
There's a very good chunk of people that will.
Yeah.
And so what it boils down to is, we saw this with some of our time trials. When you and I were both doing time trials with rifles. How, what's our time if we use an M1 against a whatever?
Yeah.
And there were a couple instances in which we realized, wait a minute, we kept reshooting to get it cleaner on a couple of them.
Right.
And then we went, no. This is completely wrong. This is the wrong approach. The reality is some of these guns kind of suck. I'm not saying an M1 sucks, but
gonna miss.
Some of the guns suck. And the reality is misses are going to happen on this course of fire we designed.
Right.
And the misses are indicative of the fact that we're failing with the gun, maybe skill, but also because the gun isn't what we would like it to be.
Right.
And so when you come here, this is a serious litmus test of how much of you gets turned into a red streak on the highway when you have a 240-second par time to do what seems to be impossible tasks.
Right. Yep.
Right.
Now, this stage in particular, I was thrilled with. I was able to make the hits. You made the hits better than I did. Well, I think you did. We came out with almost the exact same time.
So what happened? Yeah. So you beat me slightly on this one. You had a 174 and I had a 177.
Yep.
After penalties.
Yep.
And so I hit all my auto poppers like that with the red dot.
Yeah.
I'm good with the red dot. I'm telling you guys, I like red dots. And then I moved on, blast on the paper, jump in, auto poppers, blast on the paper. And then when I got to the pistol, no problem on the long range. No problem on the first set of plates. Get to the next set of plates, no problem on the long range. One of the, not a lot.
Well, and these are tiny plates.
Dude.
These are 4-inch, 3-inch?
I think they were 3-inch plates.
Might have been 3-inch.
3-inch plates at about 20 yards on sticks. And one of them was canted, not complete edge presentation, but not flat on. It was like this.
Little canted.
About like that, 45-degree angle, which makes it a far more difficult target.
That's half the size now.
I dumped over half a mag on it, and I went, I'm leaving that one.
Done.
And I just ate the 10 seconds. So my raw time was 167 plus 10, which puts me at 177. You shot everything and were able to get all the plates in a raw time clean of 174.
Yep.
So we had very similar performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, very close.
So it was a fun stage.
It was a fun stage. Getting in and out of vehicles is cool.
Yeah.
And actually, you had the epic jump into that truck, and we'll put some more of that in there. But this was a good stage. I think it helped. I think it was necessary for you to get your mind reset.
Yep.
All of us need that at a certain time. I got to tell you, this is the end of the day for the first day, and we are both very pooped. Hard as Hell is
hard as hell.
that is really not a false advertisement.
No.
This was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, but when you're in the middle of it, you don't realize what you learned from it or how great it is until a week later.
Right. Yep.
These matches like this, a week later, you think about it and you're like, oh, that was freaking cool, man. I did some really neat stuff. But when you're sitting on the edge of the bag going like that,
It's less fun.
less fun. So you got to let it sink in.
Yeah.
So we're going to get some meat
Yep.
for dinner, and we have 5 more tomorrow.
Yep.
So
One of them is a team relay stage. That'll be
team relay
interesting.
stage. So let's stay tuned for that.
All right. I want to give a couple brief thoughts. We are
Okay.
currently halfway through the match, basically.
Yes.
And I realized something I haven't talked about at all, really, is the red dot.
Oh, you have not talked about your pistol.
Right. It's a little Glock 19 with an RMR, Trijicon RMR on it. And it's actually doing me pretty well. Now,
Yes.
what I've seen in general is a red dot setup like that allows you to be a much better, or substantially more effective shooter if you practice with it regularly. You have to practice to get used to it, and then it's a skill that is easily perishable,
Like many things.
but more so than some.
I agree.
But what I'm finding here is this ain't fixing my trigger control. When I'm throwing shots, I know it. But it's one less thing I have to concentrate on because I don't have to do this thing with the sights, just dot, target, and then pull the trigger nice and gently and get a hit.
Yep.
And it really shows through on a physically exerting series of stages like this, where once I get tired, getting rid of that one element really helps.
When you're fatigued, things go downhill fast.
Yeah.
People, there's always this thing, and we hear this, and a lot of people that don't go out and train and don't go out and shoot in matches as brutal as this. I don't know they have to all be like this, but a lot of people, there's this weird thing inside the gun community that you'll rise to the challenge. Yeah. You know, all you have to do is go shoot stage 7 today, and you're going to realize you don't rise to the challenge, you fall to your lowest skill level possible.
Yeah.
And then you have to maintain as best you can through that.
Yeah.
And so if your skill level is not where you need it to be, you will not suddenly become awesome because things are worse. You will become worse because things are worse.
Yeah.
And that red dot, just like a red dot on a rifle, once you've got the modicum of skill to be good with it, is a force multiplier, but it does not replace skill.
No. But I like it. It really does help.
Yep.
It's nice to have it here, and I'm glad I brought it.
You've had a surprisingly large number of malfunctions. I think it's the tool ammo.
That might be.
Yeah.
It's been mostly, aside from the one Magpul mag, which we'll take care of.
Yes.
The rest, I think, if I remember correctly, have all been that 33 round happy stick.
Well, here's the thing, and this is a long conclusion, but this is our midway point anyway. I think what you're seeing there is tool ammo is bottom barrel stuff. It is.
It's shit.
It is. And the reality is this, and I found this with my Beretta as well. The steel cases induce more friction on the sidewalls of the magazine, and they are more likely to induce a feeding issue on some guns. I have not seen this to be the case on all guns, and I've not seen it to be the case on all magazines. So before you take vengeance on your Magpul mag, try it with some brass first. It may work with brass-cased ammunition. It might.
Maybe.
Well, I have seen this, and my Beretta is a little iffy with the Tula because of the steel case. So today, for example, I'm shooting all brass-cased ammunition because I have found that gun has a problem with steel-cased ammo. Okay. So I would think that might be what you're dealing with. The one thing we haven't talked is the Beretta. Holy crap, my Beretta is awesome. That Beretta 92A1, I don't know why more people don't use it. That thing's a laser beam for me. I've had no issues with that gun whatsoever. And when we shot the paper and I came back, I'm like, how many FTNs did I get? How many no-shoots? And they're like, clean. I'm like, whoa. Are you telling me seriously?
Awesome.
Clean? The Beretta, I have found a gun that suits me very well.
Yeah.
I like it very much. I would not recommend it to everyone because it's DASA.
Yeah.
But my experience with that Beretta 92A1 is double 2 thumbs up good. Yeah. Honestly. So, really long conclusion here, but let's go ahead and close it off for now. And we'll be back here tomorrow, fresh and, of course, rested.
Yes, with steaks,
dude,
whiskey, and some sleep.
I'm eating some serious meat tonight. And then we will start tomorrow. We got 5 to go.
Awesome.
Sweet.
We'll see you guys on the next one.